Hello and welcome to all of our incoming students and families. My name is Katie Higgins and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about what personalized learning is and what it looks like at Valley View Middle School. There are three key pillars that Edina Public Schools has identified in terms of personalized learning. They include learner profiles, learning pathways, and proficiency-based competencies. We have included a short video here. It's a sketch note that in about a minute and 40 seconds gives you some visuals about what personalized learning is and how it might look a little bit different than your own elementary, middle, or high school experience. But what I'm really here to talk to you about is what does personalized learning look like at Valley View Middle School? At the very heart of personalized learning is your student. It is about teachers, students, and families coming together to support, encourage, and empower the learners in our classrooms. Personalized learning involves teaching standards. It involves helping students with goal setting, keeping their personal interests in mind, as well as giving students voice and choice in how they tackle learning tasks. I want to begin by talking a little bit about the learner profile. In a learner profile, that is a student owned document, and it just houses a lot of information about each child. It has academic status, so things that you might typically find on a report card or in a learning management system, grades, test scores, but it tells us more than that about a child. It tells us a little bit more about their interests, what motivates them as a student. It is a place where students do goal setting and where teachers and students work together to review those goals and make plans to reaching those goals. It's also a place where students are allowed to do some reflection on how school is going, how certain individual classes are going. The learner profile is a digital piece, a digital component, and it is housed in Learner's Edge, which that's one of the icons found on our portal. And this is just one example of a piece in a learner profile. Getting students to talk about what are your interests, what are your favorite subjects at school, and what do you like to do when you're not at school? What are your strengths? What really motivates you away from the classroom? All of those different pieces help both the teacher and learner know who that child is. In terms of personalized pathways, we talk about different ways we have to explore information, engage with information, and express our learning. We've given you a few examples in each of these categories. For example, in our Explore category, maybe it works best for you to read information. Maybe you prefer hearing information. Maybe you're a visual learner and you like to see things, or you like to discuss and talk with other people about what you're learning. Those are all great ways to explore new ideas and content. There are also different ways that we can engage with that material. We talk about 4 different engagement pathways: seminars, individual flex groups, a group flex, and a coaching session. I'll talk more about those in just a moment. And then there are a variety of ways for students to express their learning, to show that they have indeed met standards. It might look different for every student, but we're all headed toward that same goal and outcome. Let's talk a little bit about voice and choice. We want to make sure that your student has a voice in what and how they are learning and how they're accessing content. Sometimes teacher seminars are the best way for students to learn new information. And you can see a picture there of a student directing a whole class. Other times, there might be some group flex opportunities where students work together to uncover new learning. While other times there will be individual flex, where a student chooses to learn independently for a little bit and process and reflect solo so they can go back and rejoin the group and share their learning. Another really powerful example would be a coaching session. And this is when a teacher is with a small group of students that maybe need a little extra help with something, are ready to go further with something. So all of these different pathways are all trying to get us to the same proficiency-based progress. But we know that all of our kids are so uniquely gifted and different in their own unique ways that we want to make sure that we have a variety of ways to meet everyone's needs. These pathways all come together and really complement one another in many ways. Your student will have an advisory class next year. And typically in our advisory class, that's where students do a lot of that learner profile work. They're reflecting and thinking about who they are as learners. That work helps inform the choices that your child makes in class, as well as when we have our flex offerings. Flex offerings happen a couple different times a week, and that's when students maybe have an opportunity to go beyond the learning in the classroom for some advanced academic options. Or it might be a time when your student can work on a growth opportunity, or maybe they need a little more clarity on any given topic. They would be informed through their learner profile as well as their performance in class, and their teachers will help them make good choices about what they need in order to be successful. Ultimately, personalized learning is about growing thinkers and learners. That's what we want your child to come out of Valley View being. Thanks so much for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to email myself or my good friend and colleague, Missy Zenner. We're excited to welcome your son or daughter to Valley View in the fall.